From America's farm to fork capital and some of the richest farmland in the world, it's time for What's in Season with Michael Marks.
Well, welcome to this month's What's in Season with Michael Marks. What a fun show we're going to have for you. And first of all, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you tell all of your friends and family about the show so they can tune in as well. But this month, we've got a fun show talking about berries. That's right, we're going brambling for berries. And then, of course, we got Dr. Chelsea Azarkan is with us. The kids and grandkids are home. How do we get those kids and grandkids into a healthier habit? So by the end of summer, they are into a healthier habit in their eating and exercise and everything else. Of course, Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom is here. I'm so excited about this. She's making ice cream in a bag. Not just any ice cream, berry ice cream in a bag. And we're going to talk a little bit about the science of that. So I'm thrilled about that. And then, of course, Chef Adam Peckel is with us today. You know, the Olympics are starting in Paris. So let's do a little bit of French cooking with Chef Adam Peckel. But let's get started. Let's go brambling. You know, bramble is just a Scottish word for blackberry. So when you say we're going brambling, you're actually going out to picking blackberries. And absolutely look at these gorgeous blackberries. Now, I don't know if you know this, but blackberries and raspberries and a lot of these other berries are what we call an aggregate fruit. An aggregate fruit means they're made up of a whole bunch of little fruits. So if you notice all these little round things, each one of those is a fruit all by itself. It's called a drupelet. And so it's made up of dozens of these little druplets. Now let me give you a secret about these druplets. Whatever berry you have, whether it's a blackberry, raspberry, loganberry, whether it's a boysenberry, the larger the druplet, the sweeter the berry. Very, very simple. You can remember that, I know. So these beautiful blackberries, beautiful raspberries, which we also call thimbleberries, because it's the only one that pulls away from the cap, right? And the early miners here in California started calling this the thimbleberry because it fits on your finger. Of course, this is a loganberry named after Judge J.T. Logan from Santa Cruz. He's the one who developed this back in the 1880s. Of course, the boysenberry. Oh my goodness, who doesn't love a boysenberry pie or boysenberry ice cream? It was Rudolph Boysen who actually developed that back in the 1920s. Blueberries were very, very tiny until a scientist from the USDA started playing around with the chromosomes of blueberries to make them larger and sweeter and much easier to eat. And we can thank this professor and scientist from USDA for giving us the blueberries that we have today. So many different kinds of berries out there. Absolutely love every single one of them. A lullaberry is another one that was developed in Corvallis, Oregon, again by a USDA scientist. So all these different berries, this is the time of year. May I tell you a couple things about berries? First of all, I told you how to pick out the sweetest, right? The second thing I want you to remember, how to properly store them. Do not in a million years wash these berries until just before you use them. All berries are like the Wicked Witch of the Wizard of Oz. They will melt. I'm melting if you put water. So please do not wash the berries until just before you use them. Second thing, storage. Do not in a million years treat your berries like an apple or an orange. Okay? Don't put them in the refrigerator and think they're going to last for a week. No. If you're not going to eat your berries within 48 hours, give them to a neighbor and let your neighbor enjoy them. And third thing, berries are best served at room temperature. Julia Child taught us this. Chef Julia Child. Berries are always best served at room temperature. That's when the flavor and the aroma, you're smelling it, right? A lot of that goes through your nose, and that aroma is very, very active when they're at room temperature. Now, I could take all of these berries, but I'm going to take strawberries, and we're going to make some strawberry butter. If you remember, Chef Adam Peckel made compound butter. Well, this is a compound butter. So basically, we're going to start with butter, and we're going to just cream the butter very, very simply. And then we're going to add some brown sugar or some powdered sugar and some strawberries in here. So we're going to make this. So here goes our powdered sugar, and then our strawberries are going to go in here, just like so. All right, very, very simple. Compound butter. So what can you do with this? Oh, there's so many things you can do with this. Okay, let's get this thing a rocking and rolling. Chef Adam Peckel, where are you when I need? There we go. So let's just pulse this. So what can we do with our strawberry butter? Do you like waffles? Me too. Do you like French toast? Me too. Anything that you put butter on, you can put your strawberry butter on. So here's what we're going to do with this butter. We're going to get out some wax paper, and we're going to pour this right onto the wax paper. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. And then we're going to roll up. We're going to roll this up into like a burrito, right? You with me so far? We're going to roll it up into a burrito. So you have this round mound of strawberry butter in here. This goes into the freezer. Pull it out anytime you want it for your pancakes, for your waffles, or for your French toast. Strawberry butter. It's a good way of having summer berries all year long. Hey, coming up, we're going to have Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom, so don't go away. Well, the joys of summer are summer fruit. Peaches, plums, nectarines, pluots, apricots. Look at all of these gorgeous stone fruit. Oh my God. Why do we call them stone fruit, by the way? Stone fruit, because there's stone in the middle. Aren't we brilliant in the produce industry? There's a stone in the middle. Let's call it stone fruit. So how do you ripen your peaches and plums and nectarines? How do you ripen them? That's muy importante. No one should ever have an unripe peach or nectarine. You should always ripen them first. So get out a shoebox. I know every one of you has a shoebox or 2 or 3 or 4 hanging around the house, right? So grab a shoebox. Put your peaches and nectarines in the shoebox. Single layer in the shoebox. Don't stack them on top of each other. They'll get too soft. And then close up the lid. Put this in your laundry room if you have a laundry room. The laundry room is the warmest room in the house, and it'll ripen up perfectly. And every day, just go by there. Take a little sniff. Does it smell like peach cobbler? If it smells like peach cobbler, those peaches and nectarines are ready. Never in a million years should you store your peaches and nectarines in that refrigerator over there. Please don't do that. That is stone fruit abuse. Don't do that. Cold temperatures stop the ripening process. Once you stop the ripening process of the peach and nectarine, it does not restart. So once you stop it, it's done. It's finished. Cold kills flavor. So if you have a fully ripened peach or nectarine, that's the only time you should put it in the refrigerator, but it's got to be fully ripe on that peach and nectarine. So that's all about the joys of summer. What in the world is this right there? Well, you know, I said the Olympics are beginning in Paris, and of course the French love their cooking and the French love their shallots. This is a shallot, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you would try shallots. It's in the onion section. You've probably walked by it 1,000 times and probably never knew what it was. Let me give you a little saying. Anything onions do, shallots do better. So if you've never tried a shallot, this is the time, especially during the Olympics in France. Get out the shallots, make dressings and sauces, and put them in just about anything and everything. Hey, coming up, Mandy Bottoms, we're making ice cream in a bag. Don't go away. All right, Mandy Bottoms from Ag in the Classroom is here. She's already put me to work, too. Oh, my goodness. What a fun thing. Ice cream in a bag, berry ice cream in a bag. Tell me about this.
It is the perfect summertime activity. You can do it at home. We have teachers that do it in their classrooms, so it's an easy activity to do. People are amazed at how easy it is. Can I show you how?
You bet.
Okay, so you're going to start out with a baggie with some ice in it. You know, a third full, even you can go up to a half full is fine, too. Now, this is where the magic comes in. This is ice cream salt. Okay. So if you've ever made it the crank way, you pour this in.
Or rock salt or something like that.
Exactly. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to put about six tablespoons inside the bag. And as we're making this, I usually like to share with students that This is going to actually cause the ice to get colder. Salt drops the freezing point of ice.
So here's what happens. You cannot make ice cream at 32 degrees.
No.
And ice is at 32 degrees,
You got to
right?
get it as close to zero as possible.
Yes, and that's what the salt does. It lowers that so you have a better equilibrium of that, what's called heat transfer or energy transfer,
That's right. You want to get all the heat out and as much coldness in. So we're done with that guy. And then you just set this to the side for now. Now we're going to work on the actual ice cream ingredients.
Okay.
So we have some dairy product here. You can use any kind of milk. This is half and half. The more creamy you want it, the more fat you need in your milk. So you can use heavy whipping cream, and it depends on how creamy you like
So
your
don't
ice
use
cream.
non-fat milk. Don't use 1%, 2%.
That will give you icy ice cream.
That'll give you icy ice
Not
cream.
the creamy
Okay.
ice cream. You're gonna pour a half cup into your bag, and then we're going to take some sugar because we want it to be a little bit sweet. All you need is a tablespoon of sugar. So we're gonna drop that in.
Official culinary term for Mandy Bottoms, drop it in.
Yeah, there you go. Not a culinary expert. And then since we're learning all about berries, we are going to have some berries here. I like to put in, a mix. So we have some blackberries that we just harvested yesterday, some raspberries.
So let the kids or grandkids pick out their own berries, right?
And you know what? If they don't like berries, that's fine. You can put in chocolate syrup, you can put in caramel, whatever the flavor is that they like. And then we try to get as much air out as possible. And then we drop it in. And this is where the fun part is. I have a towel here because sometimes you get holes in the bag and it gets a little bit messy, but it's also a great outdoor activity. And this is where you get your kids to really start shaking. And what the shaking does is it emulsifies the liquid, which is gonna also make it creamier. So, they can kind of do this, but if they want a really good ice cream, they're gonna wanna shake it as hard as they can. Squish up the berries a little bit as you're going and really give it a good shake. And then after you're done shaking, only takes you about 5 minutes. You end up with ice cream.
Look at that.
And you would be amazed at how solid it is. And I think Michael and I are going to try a bite.
Yes, look at that ice cream.
And while you
in a
try it,
bag.
I'd love to tell you about Ag in the Classroom, which is an organization that helps teachers teach their students where their food comes from. And we are very excited. If you're an educator, or if you know an educator, our teacher conference is coming up.
Homeschooler is an educator, is
Homeschooler
that
is an
right?
educator.
Okay.
Volunteers are educators.
Okay.
And you've been to our conference before.
Yes, I have.
It's a lot of fun. It's in Orange County in September. So if you go to our website, on the homepage, you can learn all about our conference.
Awesome. And where can we can find this experiment on your website at Ag in the Classroom, right? Learn
Yep.
about ag.
Learnaboutag.org, and it's under teacher resources.
I want some more.
Yeah, it's
I
really
want
good,
some more.
huh?
Can I double dip here?
Of course.
With my spoon. Mandy Bottoms, thank you. Ice cream in 5 minutes.
Good ice cream.
Excellent ice cream, and we put berries in it, which are so good. Coming up, the doctor's in the house, Dr. Chelsea Azarkan. The kids and grandkids are home. How do we get them to have a healthier habit at the end of summer? Coming right up. Well, welcome back to What's in Season with Michael Marks. I hope you've been having fun, and now we're even going to have more fun. Because the kids or the grandkids, they're at home, right? And you've got them for 6 to 8 weeks. And this is a perfect time to get them to get healthier habits, right? Over the summertime. Maybe they've gotten into bad habits of eating poorly during the school year, but you've got them, moms, dads, grandparents, you've got the kids all summer long. So Dr. Chelsea Azarkan is with us to give us some good ideas on how we can get our kids into a healthier habit by the end of summer.
Yeah, so there's a few things here.
All right.
My first one is be a role model, and there's 3 things
That one hurts most of all.
I think about here. The first is parents and kids are not really getting moving enough a lot of times during summer, and a lot of families feel like they're too busy. So one thing I suggest, because most families are doing activities with kids after dinner, is a walk after dinner, a family walk, or if one of your kids is at sports practice, do some type of outdoor activity with the kids. Do some type of the walk during the practice. Not only do you get all the great benefits of walking with that, that helps with sleep, which is another area where kids are often slipping up in summer. So,
And be a good role model.
be a good
So
role model.
more is caught than taught,
That's right.
right? We can
Yeah.
teach them, but if they watch mom and dad or grandparents doing it, they're more likely to follow you, right?
Right.
So instead of opening up a candy bar get some grapes out, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely applicable with nourishing foods. A lot of times I'm talking to moms and they're running through the day saying I'm eating a fishy or a nugget or whatever the kids are eating. And I tell them, if it's not setting parents up for success, it's not setting kids up for success either. So if we can be a role model in getting healthier foods into our diet, it's also really helpful for our kids.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So be a role model. What's another thing that we can do?
So make it accessible for kids.
Accessible for kids. What does that mean?
So we have all this nice cut and prepared fruit that's easy for them to grab. And some kids are going to be interested in the food preparation process, like Mandy was showing us. That's a good way to get kids involved with different ways that you can make healthy food exciting. But the reverse of this is true as well. So you want to have lots of healthy food available. If you have a lot of junk food available, kids are always going to eat that over healthy food. But if what you have available is healthy food and you're engaging kids in different ways to eat it, then they're going to get used to eating healthy food and they're going to learn to like it.
So accessible means if you have a big cantaloupe sitting out and the kids come in from soccer practice or football practice or swim practice and they got the big cantaloupe, they can't eat that cantaloupe.
Right.
But moms, dads, if you cut it up already, right? If you cut it up and make it into already accessible, they can just reach into the refrigerator, right?
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Making it available. You mentioned availability. If you have a lot of junk snacks around available, they're going to eat those. But if you have more fruits and vegetables available to them, we had a rule in the Marks home. The little Marks brothers, Landon and Lincoln. You can have any fruit or vegetable anytime, day or night. You never have to ask permission. Right?
Yeah.
But if you wanted a junky snack, you had to ask permission for that.
That's good. Well, one thing I like to have available too with fruits and vegetables is vegetables especially. So fun dips are a really great way to get kids more engaged. So you can have hummus, you can make your own healthy onion dip or ranch dressing with organic yogurt. You can have organic peanut butter. So different things that help the kids be able to engage with the available produce in a fun way.
That's good. And also involve your kids. Take them to the markets, right? Have them pick out the melon of the week or the squash of the week, right? Have them do that.
Yeah, try to generate excitement, kind of like Kids Cookie Club, but with produce. You get to choose whatever you want from the produce section.
All right, Dr. Chelsea, some really, really good advice for moms and dads and grandparents. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Coming up, Chef Adam Peckel is with us. We're going to France, to Paris, France. What's he cooking up? We'll see, coming right up. Well, welcome back to What's in Season. Oh, the final segment's always my fun segment. We get to cook and we get to eat. Oh man, we're gonna have so much fun. So, the Olympics are in France. They start later this month and go into mid-August, and it's in Paris, France. Ooh la la, right? The French think of two things: romance and food. Not necessarily in that order either. A lot of times they're thinking about the two things in life that they love: lunch and dinner. And we're going to talk about food with Chef Adam Peckel. The French created so much of the techniques and cooking styles that we have today.
Oh, absolutely. It's the foundation of a lot of what us chefs do is that the French techniques, and it's a lot of what I've based a lot of my food on.
The sauces, the way you cut, the way you cook, all of it, right?
Absolutely.
They created it all.
They did. They started it. They got us going.
So what do you love about French cooking?
I think just sort of the eloquence. I mean, it's the attention to detail. I think it's refined. Sometimes it can be a little heavy, but we're lightening it up today.
Okay, what are we making today?
Well, you said French food, and it's summertime, and the thing that just screams summertime in France is ratatouille. It's a great way to utilize that summer garden bounty. We've got our squashes, tomatoes, basil, eggplant. It's everybody's garden's probably going through the roof with that stuff. So this is a perfect way to use that stuff up.
I'm getting 4 or 5 zucchini every single day,
and you got to use them up. So this is the perfect thing to do. So. Really, ratatouille is basically a stew that gets really cooked down. But
hold on. Where's the little mouse? Where is that little mouse?
You know, and that's exactly that. And we're actually kind of playing off the Ratatouille movie a little bit because we're not doing your traditional Ratatouille. So first we're going to slice our squash really thin. We've got a little mandolin. If you don't have one of these, it's a great tool to have. We're going to just slice them about a 1/4 inch thick. You know, I like a nice variety of squashes, just like that. It's that easy. They've got guards. You know, you got to be careful with this thing, but it's a great tool to have in the kitchen. Then I take the squash. Of course, they've got a great high water content, so we salt them a little bit first and get some of that moisture out of there. That's one of the important things.
Just a little bit of salt, not a lot, right?
Just a little bit of salt, season like normally,
Okay.
pull some of that moisture out, and then we can kind of move on to the next step. And so we've got our squash, and then I've made like basically a really nice rustic tomato sauce, almost like a marinara, but we've got bell peppers, we've got lots of garlic, we've got basil, and we cook that down, and I'm just gonna line sort of like a casserole dish like this, and put that down as a base. Then we've got our sliced squashes that we've lost the moisture, we've seasoned a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then we just start grabbing them, and we kind of like alternate the colors.
Official culinary
just like
term,
that.
grab them.
Just grab them. You just grab them, and we just start layering this stuff in here. And
So this is a great way of get your kids or grandkids in the kitchen for this part. You
Absolutely.
know? What kid doesn't like to stack things up,
You know, that's
right?
the thing. And so we'll just stack them up here in my hand, and you start layering them in there, layering them in there. Eggplant can go in here. A lot of people don't like eggplant. Eggplant's traditional, but I stay away from it usually. I just like to go with the squashes, and you just kind of layer them in there. Then we're going to bake it off in the oven.
Do you put anything on it?
I'll usually finish it off with a little bit of breadcrumbs and Parmesan right on top, and then we bake in the oven at about 400, nice and hot and fast.
Let me see if it's done.
I think we might be ready.
Ooh, hot.
And there it is.
Oh,
And
look
you just
at
get
that.
this nice, beautiful.
Here, lift that up so that camera
Yeah,
can see. We want everybody to see it. Oh my goodness.
Chef hands. You know, you just take some of that nice basil right in the middle there. Great side dish for chicken, fish. I mean, you can eat it on your own, put it with some pasta. Just a wonderful, wonderful, fun dish.
And it's a healthy dish.
Super healthy,
Yeah.
just olive oil, tomato, all that summer bounty stuff. Probably one of the lightest, healthiest dishes that come out of the French cookbook.
Oh, Chef Adam Peckel, thank you. You did it
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
That is
no.
fantastic. So our Olympians in France, I'm sure they're going to be having a lot of ratatouille. Well, once again, thanks again for joining us on What's in Season with Michael Marks. We will see you next time.